Okay, let's modify this a little bit. So what can we do? Well, you can set the color, the map, okay, CMap. I think crest is a nice one. Okay, it's a little more consistent with the coloring. And we can set annotation equal to true. This is going to show the actual correlations in the cells. The way it is right now, sort of like darker is higher correlation, but also so is lighter because like negative. So it's sort of like you want light or dark. And I may look at a different color palette here. So that's one piece to it. The other thing, if we're going to annotate it, we definitely want a larger figure size. Okay, so let's set that up here before our plot so we can do plt.figure. And what kind of a fixed size should we look at? Well, you want, we just want this to be larger. Okay, so horizontal, I think we can stretch it a little bit, perhaps to 10, maybe 12. Like, you want to be able to see the numbers inside is the key. Okay, so we may need more than that. And vertical, let's go with something like a 9. Okay, and so if we just try these couple of adjustments, let's see what the net result is. Okay, this looks a little better. It still is too, right? Like you can't really read it properly. So I think what we want to do is make it much larger in terms of the horizontal, like maybe 15. And that's is now looking better, where you can actually read the numbers, you can read the actual correlations. And the blue, right, you can see the darker the better, the stronger correlations. But we're sort of missing the lighter ones. Like these lighter ones are actually the high negatives, really strong correlations here. And so I think it'd be good to have like a color palette that's strong in the high and the low. Okay. And let's also just briefly recall, what does the correlation mean? It's how related the columns are, right? So if we're comparing working day to number of casual users, that's interesting. There's a strong negative correlation there based on this data. You know, negative 0.5 is pretty good. Okay, so if we look at the color palettes here, if we look at, do we have ones? This is Seaborn documentation. Do we have ones that are kind of dark on both ends? Well, you can like scroll down and kind of look. You can also pick your own. Perhaps a divergent one might work, you know, where, I don't know, like, okay, so some of these, you could just try some different things. Like we could try cool, warm, perhaps. And so if I go back to the plot, okay, I'm going to try cool, warm in place of the CMap. See what we get here. And this is sort of, I think it's, I mean, it doesn't look as good, but maybe it's more informative in terms of finding what you're looking for, like stuff that's very red and very blue, right? The light stuff, it doesn't have the stronger correlations. And so, yeah, that's informative. And that's part of the idea. It's using, you know, things like different palettes to kind of help you, you know. You could try spectral too. That one looks kind of cool. This is what I tend to do. I was caps, capital letters. I just go with different, I try different things and I just see how they look. And I like to use the combination of visuals and you know, the informative piece. And so not really sure about these. So if I go back one more time, I don't know, Ice Fire is kind of cool. I think it's, I'm not sure that dark though is what we want, but let's just try it. Ice Fire and Vlag, these are fun. Okay, so a couple more tries in the palette. Ice Fire. This is what I do. I tend to like mess around with it. Okay, I think that's too busy. I kind of like the one we had a few ago. I think it was similar to Vlag. Yeah, something similar to this. I like this. Where again, reds and blues are giving you information.